Okay, let's have this little conversation, and we'll see how we do with this. I've had this this notion bubbling in my head for a little while about reviews and scoring games and writing about games and reflecting on my experiences in games and also, I try not to watch too many other people's reviews and what they say and what they think. I think potentially, I think there's a lot of folks who provide reviews that are not necessarily genuine. That is what it is, and they're probably some of the bigger and better, arguably better channels. But there's also a lot of guys and girls out there who do some really thoughtful deep dives on games and experiences and nuances and technical details. And there's guys that do how-to plays and guys who do, nuts and bolts examples of play and thematic things and all sorts of stuff. So there's a massive spectrum of gaming reviews, and in particular, obviously, big board gaming. We're talking about war games, and that's all we're talking about. We're not talking about Euros or anything else. So, I was struck by a post today that was actually yesterday, but there's a commentary ongoing, and I made 2 comments on it. And my first comment was kind of like, yeah, that was a great game for its day, and that was a great game. Great memories game, but kind of not a great game mechanically. Even though that game spawned an entire series of games. So does that disqualify from being a great game? I don't know if it does. And then I made a second post and I said, you know what? If that game inspired you, and there was a gentleman who posted that it inspired him, to get into wargaming. So that's fabulous. That means that is like the best game ever. The best game ever. If a game you play inspires you to buy that game, buy another game in that genre, buy a book in that genre, and I now have a bug on my screen. Come on, dude. Please go away. One of those little no-seams. If something inspires you to become passionate about a topic or an agenda or a theme or a period of history or a mechanic, gosh, that's fantastic. I think we should celebrate that. And I don't know that when we do, so, I always say, I'm not doing reviews, I'm doing impressions. And I've noticed that some folks have started saying first impressions and all that sort of stuff. But I like to think I was the first guy that said that. Maybe I wasn't, but, go back 11 years in video and blog, 6,000 blog posts. I may or may not have been the first guy to do a handful of things. Irrelevant. The point is, when I do a commentary on a game and give my impressions of it, that can often color your decision to buy or not to buy. And it can also, fortunately, I've never had anyone say, hey, man, you said that game was awesome and I bought it and it sucked. I don't think I've ever had a comment on a YouTube video that said that, fortunately. I have had people who have read a written review and disagree vehemently with me, and that's fantastic. That's discourse, that's engagement, that's us talking and disagreeing and finding mutual ground and actually having a conversation. What a fabulous fucking concept that is, right? Imagine having a conversation about a topic that we disagree vehemently on, whether it's, I don't like chit pull. Well, I do like chit pull. Okay, well, let's talk about that. I don't like card-driven games. Well, I do like card-driven games. Well, let's talk about the various merits and demerits of those systems. So, man, so what am I trying to get to here? I'm trying to get to that when you watch, and I'm going to talk about my channel and not about anybody else's because I really don't pay too much attention to anybody else's channels. I try and do my thing and try and be authentic and real and genuine and to the point as much as I can. I know sometimes I waffle on like I am now, but I try and keep it succinct and I don't try to sugarcoat shit because I don't want you wasting your valuable money on games that personally, for my experience in some many decades of wargaming, doesn't fit my criteria. And if you watched a few videos and you happen to own some of the games that I have talked about, and you agree in principle with my views on a game, then that is probably a leading indicator that I might be on the same page as you about a particular topic or game or title that, get out of here, that you haven't bought yet, that I have, and I'm kind of giving you a heads up, hey, this is awesome, or it's not. And that might save you 90, 100, 120 bucks, or 145% of that, right? Who knows? Please, first and foremost, every game you own, do it the service of playing it. Take it out, not tomorrow, not when you retire, not next week. Pull a game off your shelf today. Open the rule book, get the counters out, put them on a map, move them around, look at an example of play, and shuffle that shit around a little bit and go, this is kind of cool. I think I want to set this up. And find a space, find time, play it on Vassal, but just do it. The old Nike catchphrase from the 80s, JDI, just do it. Just roll dice, just make it happen, play a game, gain your own personal experiences so that you can become an informed player, an informed person in the hobby, and know what you like and what you don't like, and support the designers that you believe in, both not just from game design perspective, because I see there's a lot of politics now, unfortunately, in our hobby now, but so ethically and morally, if you align with someone that believes in A, go buy their fucking games and play them. God bless you, right? And if you believe in, morals and ethics B, go buy those games and support them. And that's probably a topic for another video, I think, before I divert into a rant on polarization of the hobby. But the important point here is my commentary on games and my gameplay experiences, which I don't play a game 10, 15 times, a particular scenario or a particular game 10 or 15 times unless I really enjoy it. And I have a handful of systems that I have played dozens, if not hundreds of times. I don't think you can all work that out. Well, actually, you can't because my BGG profile is gone. But I'll shoot some examples, for instance, and they are not for everybody. We'll start with Lock and Load Publishing, right? So Lock and Load Tactical, I've played hundreds of times. World at War, 85/World at War, hundreds of times. OCS, dozens and dozens of times. TCS, dozens and dozens of times. Great Battles of History, hundreds of times. And now I'm going to put myself in a box and forget things. Great Campaigns of the American Civil War, quite a few times. My point here, so the Next War series from Mitch Land, I've played that a lot. I love that system. I love the way it all kind of feels. So my point about all this is, and then we can also get into designers, right? Well, which designers do we like? Mark Simonich. Do we love Mark Simonich's games? Yes, I do. Do we like Mark Herman's games? Generally speaking, yes, I do. Those that are war games, yes. be patient with games, I think, is the other thing. Be patient with reviewers. Don't take everything they say as gospel, number one. Don't and take everything with a grain of salt. I guess take everything with a grain of salt, right? Because there's often agendas behind everyone's commentary and views and thoughts. I will continue to commit to you that I will declare when games are free to me and provided to me at no cost. I will, and generally speaking, I will always offer to either pay shipping or pay some nominal amount of money to cover that cost, or I'll go buy another game from that company to put some skin in the game, because I don't want the obligation of, I got to play this tomorrow, right? And I've got to say something nice about it, because if there's nothing nice to say, then, sucks to be you. I'm not saying it. And I've had a lot of those, and I've lost a lot of designers and publishers who've said nothing after I've posted because I had nothing positive to say, or I qualified my acceptance of my enjoyment fairly succinctly. So I'll leave it to you to read between the lines on those things. I'm not going to shit dog a designer just because. But I will try and speak transparently about what's going on. It's become a long video. The key point here is take everything you see and hear with a grain of salt and play your own games. Enjoy them. Find what you like and buy more of it and get after it, and don't delay. Don't delay. We don't have time on this little spinning sphere in the universe. It's a very short period of time. Stop fucking around and doing your wife's honeydews and taking care of, things that you think are more important. If you really care about the hobby and you really want to be in the hobby, and I'm not talking to collectors, I'm talking to players, we play the games. Make time, make your commitment, and do it and enjoy it, and then tell us about it, because I want to hear. I want you to save me the time of buying all these freaking things and then playing it, going, "What the hell? This sucked," right? And be honest about it. Don't just say you like it because either you played it when you were a kid, or you bought it and now you own it, and therefore you spent the money and therefore you must like it. It's like going to an expensive restaurant and people go, "Oh, I had the best meal there." And really, the steak was tough. The pasta was undercooked. The vegetables were too raw or too overcooked. The sauce was too acidic. No one wants to enjoy it. No one cares. No one wants to say they had a bad experience when they drop $100 or $200 on a dinner. They want to say, "Oh, it's fabulous. It was Michelin star 1.25. No, it wasn't. It sucked a bag of what. Call it what it is. Let everybody know it doesn't hurt. A good designer will take that all in stride if you provide constructive criticism, and he'll make a better game, or she will make a better game next time. We've got to be more real about this, because the publishing world has gone through a massive transformation. It's about to go through another massive transformation. We have so many small publishers who are punching out some pretty cool stuff that I can't keep abreast of, really. And it is a challenge for all of us to know what's good or what's bad. So speak up, speak out, share your thoughts, share your opinions, help us understand what's great and what's not from your perspective, and give it some context, right? Hey, I like Panzer Group Guderian, but I didn't like Leningrad. I like Panzer Group Guderian, but I didn't like Fulda Gap. Okay, that gives me some context about maybe it's the VCS system and a particular module that came out, the Killing Ground. Some people love that system, some people hate it, because it's the absolute ultimate limit of the capabilities of the system to deal with the topic at hand. Anyway, sorry this went so long, but it's Sunday afternoon. It's a glorious day. We had a magnificent thunderstorm, hailstorm, rain. Everything's green and lush right now. don't know if you can see out there, but we're greening up a little bit out there, and my wife planting plants. I can't help her because I've severely hurt my back, and so I'm kind of out of pocket for the moment when it comes to heavy lifting. But that's another story. And enjoy your day. Hashtag roll dice, get after it, don't delay. Use the time you have to experience your hobby and enjoy it, and take everybody with a grain of salt. All the best.